And he was on the list there, so the big question for me is politicking going to just hide behind this thing, send him in there as a participant and not report it? Or are they, is the guy going to uphold the public trust and at least report that it's happening?
I'll look out for that. I'll look out for that.
How to trade.
Yeah, if they report. What I'm wondering is, have you guys, I can't look at every paper sometimes. I know a few different languages, but not real well. Have you seen any significant advance publicity on this, even in the European press?
Nothing.
See, that's unusual.
Minor segment on television.
Not much, though.
The British
has been a little bit.
British Independent, yeah.
Just a blurb or a larger piece? Or?
Yeah, it's a larger piece. It's not saying a lot. And it's just saying there's this big meeting going on.
Yeah. More like a what's going on type thing.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Right, like an announcement, glorified announcement.
Well, just saying, there's something going on, there's a little bit of controversy, but that's kind of about it.
Yeah, so that's the first I've heard. It seems like the European press is starting to drop the ball on this, because remember they used to do a lot more than the American press.
Well, they were in Britain last year, so I think that's where it's kind of continuing on from the little bit of coverage you got there.
Yeah, because they had it last year and they're just rolling it over.
Yeah,
but I'm wondering about here, Germans, maybe Dutch, Danish press. I'm not seeing anything.
It's not as much.
No, my girlfriend's Dutch. Haven't heard a thing. Not even from her parents or anything.
Yeah, so somebody would have seen something. Advanced publicity is almost better, than while you're here.
I personally, I haven't seen any news articles. I didn't see the TV report, but I think there was like a minor, short little 5-minute segment or something.
Yeah, there was an interview with a guy for like 5 minutes.
What TV? What's
DR.
Locally?
Yeah, well, it's pretty much
Danish radio,
station.
DR is Danish radio?
Yeah.
They have the monopoly on like the media.
DR?
Yeah, basically.
See, so who owns that? That'd be a little line to trace right there.
Isn't it government?
We have to pay them.
That's government. That's government.
It's government.
We have to
government
pay a media tax out here just to like. Hvad det der medieskat eller hvad det hedder DR ting. We pay I think about $300 a year. 1,200 kroner.
Yeah,
per person.
Per person.
Yeah, it's not a year. It's every 3 or 6 months. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
What?
it's the same in Germany.
Fuck.
Like
Then it's double.
for,
That's
for
like
state television, you have to
Yeah.
pay a mandatory fee.
Yeah, we
Each
pay
month,
that.
like 18 euros, and then the RD and ZDF.
And the tax has a line item that you know where the money's going. In
yeah.
other words, you know it's immediate. It's not just mixed in.
No, it's not taken out of taxes. It's like taken out of our paycheck because we get the little sheet. We have to fill it out. And
Well, it's
send
like
it
a
in.
tax withholding, though.
Yeah.
Like in the States.
Yeah. Exactly.
They keep the string attached to part of the money before you even get it.
It's compounded, but you don't get it like taken out of your paycheck. That's all. Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah, I thought so too when I moved here. I got a thing in the mail. You have to pay for watching TV. I was like, I don't watch TV. Do you have internet? Yeah.
There's
Do
a
you have
BBC
radio?
tax,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I forget what they call it.
TV license.
TV license fee.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Or there's a German publisher. He's attending. Matthias Döpfner from Bildzeitung. You know that? It's a large. He
What's his name again?
Matthias Döpfner.
Okay.
He's a publisher of the Springer Verlag.
Okay.
And he's attending this year. And the funny thing is, like 3 weeks ago, he made a big announcement in German newspapers that he was against Google taking over their domain on the internet and so on.
Monopolizing cyberspace.
As a publisher,
Google.
that's why maybe
Even though Eric Schmidt comes to these things.
Yeah.
He's here this time.
Yeah, he's
Eric Schmidt?
Yeah.
He's here every year.
Is he here? Yeah, he's coming. I think.
Yeah, I wrote a note to Martin Wolf
think
of
I
the
did.
Financial
I
Times,
saw
who
him
comes
last
here
year.
every year.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
he
he's
repeats
here.
that
I
same
know.
refrain.
I know.
We don't
Sorry.
make any decisions here.
Maybe he's here.
There's no consensus. We don't share the same point of view. But I didn't even ask him that question. I asked him, what do some Bilderberg attendees think about, and I asked him about something he wrote. I didn't ask if there was a collective view, but right away there's that knee-jerk response. We don't make collective decisions, It's like I didn't ask you for a collective decision. I said, maybe some of the individual Bilderberg attendees would agree with you. See, so even their answers are so,
Yeah,
blunt
they're on
and
the
arrogant.
defensive.
Instead of just, they can't even answer. They don't even decipher what you're asking them. They just have a knee-jerk response.
Now it's like you're bad if you don't like that they're doing this. It's good that there's meetings.
Yeah.
Just like the NSA. It's all
Yeah,
good for you.
Yeah.
GCHQ.
Yeah, and if you're just having a chat and you don't want people you want to be able to talk freely, all you'd need to do is have marginal security, if you need it at all. Maybe close off part of the hotel. But I mean, this is the equivalent. Look at this. Is that a friendly chat? I mean, it's just incredible.
But there is no chat. I said to people earlier, we want someone to come out and talk to us.
Yeah.
Or we'll send someone in there to talk to them if that is, but
mediator.
it's not going to happen, is it?
Yeah, their website has nothing on this yet. You know, they have an email where you can write their media. They don't respond.
It's just a facade. So it's a really boring website. You know, there's nothing to see.
Yeah, it doesn't change for months on end.
Are they waiting for a riot?
Are they geared up? No.
300 police there over the weekend too, all taxpayer supported. For Danish State Police.
Any of the members?
Whoa, okay, those guys are geared up.
Yeah, a few of them.
Oh, those press.
We know.
You know those little tactics were shielded.
They just had black and then they went into the building itself.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Well, we've asked if Henry Kissinger's arrived, but they won't answer us.
He has probably come in a little submarine or something.
Or a helicopter. Maybe even teleported, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? I also went to Bilderberg last year from Denmark.
I was there too.
Yeah.
Oh, you know,
I live here, so it was very easy this time to come.
Just on your doorstep.
Yeah.
I learned about it. I had to know I had to do something. They're in my backyard for crying out loud.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly. Now I understand that on the agenda it's about whether or not privacy can even exist under the conditions that these people have created, have planned and pushed for so many years.
Yeah.
So I guess it's kind of that they are doing a status on how it's going on their Orwellian progress when they are talking about whether privacy exists or not. It's a silly question because it doesn't really exist in the shape or form we knew 20 years ago or 30 years ago. So and they know the answer to that question. It's silly. So I think it's really about them talking about how they're progressing in their Orwellian program.
assessing their current game plan.
Exactly.
Seeing how many downs and innings they're in and how it looks, and assess the situation and see what kind of game plan they need to create now. Whether they need to adapt, improvise, and overcome.
Exactly, but perhaps also how people are going to adapt to their Orwellian system and the disappearance of privacy as a concept. How are people adapting to that? Are people finding strategies to escape from it? And things like that. Maybe it's also on their radar screen, I don't know.
Well, they'll certainly be discussing it.
Yeah, for sure.
They'll certainly look into
Maybe not in the main lecture, but then they will discuss it in all their little meetings and little groups, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Because a lot of the Bilderberg meeting is also informal in its structure, and I think there was, I think they mentioned it on Infowars that they have meetings before and after Bilderberg, so Bilderberg is sort of a hub for many communities to connect and meet also after.
There's no document leaks if it's by word of mouth.
Yeah.
The best way to evade all this surveillance is to go back to like the old school way. There's no better way to evade it. And that's how they can do it. Short of having someone install a microphone and listening in on it in like totally, Mission Impossible style. I really don't think that there's going to be any leaked documents, leaked sources. Maybe if we're lucky, there might be a disgruntled coworker that thinks that dude was an asshole. I'll totally snitch out on like some stuff I heard. Only if we're lucky. I'm crossing the finger.
Denmark is a satellite state of the U.S.-British Empire, and therefore this is basically NSA, CIA territory. The Danish intelligence is just a subordinate organization under this system.
So how long has Denmark actually been a satellite state? Was it after World War II when they created
I think my personal theory is that we became a real satellite around the time when the British fleet they came in and they stole our fleet around 1802, the beginning of the 18th century. the British came in and they
Oh,
took
yeah,
our
they gotta
fleet.
be worried about
And then
this, especially
actually,
with European Union,
short
this
time after our bankruptcy and the British attack and our waving of the white flag, shortly after that, we said yes to a central bank.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Exactly. So the Rothschilds probably used the British government as a proxy to then push for a Danish central bank. In 1818, we got our central bank.
Yeah, the Danish National Bank, if you look it up, it says private organization.
No, but it was a stock corporation in the beginning. It was official. Yes, I have been looking at the documents in the National Archives, and actually I've been trying to search for like the Holy Grail of the Danish National Bank, which is a document that would potentially document that the Rothschild clan was involved in the establishment of the Danish Central Bank.
We need more of that.
Yeah, for sure.
You have my support.
Yeah, but I think to answer your question, 1818, around that time, when we got our central bank.
Wow.
That would be my guess, but we've always been part of the Illuminati system because our bloodlines are old.
You can see that on the symbolism of all the old buildings here.
Yeah.
It's all over the place. I never forget the day when I saw David Icke first lecture. And then I went walking in the street. And I was like, this city never looked the same again. I just saw one symbol after the other. I was like, oh boy, it's all around me.
My first experience was in 1999. I was searching Napster actually for music, and then I found a recording of Alex Jones on Napster.
Oh wow!
And then from there, I actually got this Bohemian Grove video. I was searching and I found it. Yeah, already in 2000, and then I got access to David Icke from there on.
I was just a little teenager.
Yeah, I was also a young man at that time. I was around 15. Huge nerd.